some love. Who wants it? Yeah! Do it! That's right, man. Who wants it? Who wants a t-shirt? Huh? Do it! Do it! Oh! I love
Hello, everyone. Today, or actually, I guess you could say yesterday, was a big day because the first letter for the players for Lotro in 2023, or as in known, I think the producer's letter of what they're talking about. Sorry, I work nights. That's why I'm just now getting to this. Has officially been put out. And from what I've seen and what I've read while at work, I guess I'll just say I'm excited. I don't know. I'm really excited. So we're going to dive into this and we're going to talk about it, and talk about each little thing and, like, you know, kind of the separate quarters and what they're already kind of giving few things of information towards. There's a lot of things that are still kind of vague and whatnot, but obviously, you know, as the year goes on, and we'll get more and more on it. So they kind of dive in where they say, before they get into the changes of 2023, I want to take a brief moment to basically reflect on 2022 and what a great year it was. And talked about, like, you know, the new expansion, the new starter area, the delving system, the new 6-player dungeon, skirmish, and much more. All right. But then they're like, but let's be honest, that's old news and you don't want to read about last year. All right. Ambitious. This is the single word that I would use to describe the goals, the Lord of the Rings Online in 2023. Reflecting on where we are in the development of the game, we recognize that there are some areas, systems, and experiences that need attention and sprucing up, which I am glad they are realizing that. And from what I see on this plan down here, I'm very hopeful. We also understand that there's a need for level cap content and new things for you to do. Our focus in 2023 is bringing some of those experiences up to more modern expectations and the expansion of the game world, story, and direction as we begin the next 15 years of our journey together. Oh.
What did you say?
So basically what they're saying, they're going to go for another 15 years. Okay. You can see that we are planning on 4 content patches throughout 2023, each building towards our next major expansion released by the end of the year. So we got another expansion coming at the end of the year. Now we'll dive a little bit more down here afterwards, but this is the plan right here. So you got the winter, which is now Q1, where they're going to have a new instance cluster, 2 to 3 player and a 1 to 6 player, and raid, which I believe this is a part of the return to Carn, which we'll talk about. They're going to expand on the delvings, targeted class updates, which I believe is right now what's announced is the warden and the captain. They're going to do a power revamp, which I've already read a little bit on that too. Crafting revision begins. Return of Ill Omens skirmish event, monster player events, LI reward track, season 5. And then spring festival. All right. Then we jump into Q2 in the spring, where we'll celebrate the 16th year anniversary. They're going to do some landscape updates, which I believe is about Gondor. That's something kind of read in down later on in this letter. Continued on class updates, continued crafting updates, ongoing monster play updates, LI reward track season 6, and then the midsummer festival. All right. And then for summer Q3, you got further adventures, more class updates, ongoing crafting updates, delvings update. Kind of they're still progressing through the stuff. Continue monster player updates, which I'm glad that they're really focusing on the monster player updates, and I really hope that goes somewhere. I'm looking forward to it. So Q3 looks like it's going to be kind of like mostly updates, nothing too exciting, which makes sense because then that leads up to where autumn in Q4 is where we'll get the new level cap, we're going to get a new class, I hope that stays that way. A new class, that's interesting. So they're very ambitious if they're doing a new expansion and a new class, level cap, new instances and a new raid, expanded story, crafting updates, and even more updates, a new tier, obviously because a new raid, new biomes, the legendary reward tracker season 8, and the festival and new festival. All right, so let's dive into it. We're gonna go all the way down through here and we're gonna read each one and kind of dive into what I've already kind of mentioned, because a lot of stuff is up here a little vague and doesn't really explain everything. All right, so our journey through 2023 begins with a visit to the distant and familiar land of Angmar, more specifically the Iron City in the poisonous wastes of northern Middle-earth, Carn. There in the shadow of Great Citadel, a power vacuum draws from the diaspora of evil Densians looking for any semblance of leadership and guidance. New enemies scramble to seize power and follows their free people to stop the rise of a single leader in the ravaged city. So basically what this is what they're talking about, and it's what's going to be called the Return to Carn. What it's going to do is it's going to feature a new endgame instance cluster with 2 3-man instances, a 6-player instance, and a new raid with all new spoils and rewards. And then expanding on the delving system into the library and the school at Thom Meriden. I am really excited for that. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm really excited for like a return to Carn and just whole revisioned and all new instances and spoils and rewards. That is super exciting. And then they're doing making some more balance and tweaks to the delving system in an effort to smooth the difficulty transitions as you progress toward the higher tiers. All right. And then they go on. We will also be focusing on more targeted changes for classes in the first release of the new year, which, like I said, Captain and Warden are the first targets. Getting the first updates on a more general systems note, we are revisiting power, and that's what I was saying too, how it is used, how it is recovered, and it's important as a main statistic. The impact here will be less on the moment-to-moment experience on the landscape, so like when you're playing solo, but more on a management of this resource in dungeons and raids. This I like this. This is like going back, kind of somewhat back to what it was in the old days, where you actually have to manage your power. And this might actually, who knows, maybe make fellowship maneuvers matter again, because you're gonna need to be able to manage your power. But I guess we'll see. All right. We are also planning to begin a revision at the crafting system that will continue throughout the year. Our expressed end goal includes breaking apart vocations to allow players to choose which profession they want to learn, providing crafters with the ability to make some best in slot or equally competitive items through their professions, expanding upon existing crafting systems that may have been overlooked for a long time. I'm looking at you, Essences, and expanding the system for the future.
I'm in danger!
I don't know how I feel about that yet. I like it, but what worries me is this is kind of like what they've done with the trait system. Like I like the trait system. It's fun in a way, in its own way, but what they did is they killed a big part of what made Lotro. Like the old trait system was what made Lord of the Rings Online. And I feel like if they changed the crafting vocation system like totally different than what it's always been and make too much of a change to that, that's another thing that they're killing of making Lotro what Lotro is. I guess we'll see what they do with that. I'm a little nervous, but I understand changes have to happen at some point, especially as the game keeps growing, but I guess we'll see as we go. Another focus will be continued importance on festivals and events, return of ill omens, obviously. As we move into the spring and summer months, our focus will shift to the growing threat posed by the enemies soon to be unleashed in our next major expansion. Gondor, now experiencing relative peace, needs assistance in rebuilding and assessing strange goings-on. We will be introducing a new version of Gondor, no longer dauntless and harried by enemies on all sides, yet still threats linger that must be opposed. So this is going to be the new landscape changes to Gondor, like I talked about. From a game system side, we will continue to work on targeting class updates, crafting changes, monster player updates, and further adjustments to combat statistics as we move forward to the expansion, new festival rewards for Midsummer, and much more. As spring turns to summer, the tentatively titled Watching the Wing will fill your days with further adventures, new festival resorts for the Farmers Fair, new rewards with the Treasure Boogin event, and our expansion of the delving system to higher difficulty tiers. We will also make additions to the 3-player instances added with the return to Carn Doom. Crafting changes will continue, and more enhancements to monster play, which I like, will take place as we drive toward the expansion in the last quarter of the year. As I said, ambitious. Now we are reaching the end of this inaugural letter to the players of 2023, and we want to tease a little bit more about the expansion that we have planned for the later part of the year. We are not fully prepared to release many details, but we do want to provide you with a little tease of what to come, and this is exciting. As we wrapped before the shadow, and begin looking toward the future, we asked ourselves where we wanted to take the story and the game next. There was an overwhelming consensus that we wanted to head south to less traveled shores across the salty sea, beyond the Bay of Bephalis to the shore of the Kasor King's Umbar. And that, dear readers, is a tale for another day. Till next time, I remain Orion. This is exciting. I'm excited. There are some things I am also still iffy, like the crafting and breaking apart vocations. But it is, like they said, ambitious, and it is exciting, and it shows me that obviously they are very much focused on trying to, in a way, obviously keep this game exciting and fun to play. In my opinion, obviously I know I might get some flack from those of you guys from Echoes of Angmar who are diehard classic fans, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a diehard classic fan too, but I'm just a Lord of the Rings Online fan in general.
We do not want it, and we may not win it. Blasphemy!
I think a lot of this stuff that they're doing for this, what looks like 2023, a lot of it I think is good. If they stick to it, I think it can turn out to be a really, 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 really awesome year for Lord of the Rings Online. And I hope it stays that way. And I'm excited for a new expansion, new class, new crafting, monster play updates, all of that. And then class updates. And Return to Carn Doom. Like, man, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to this year. On that, like, this is an awesome producer letter. I am super stoked. I don't know about you guys. Let me know down in the comments. Are you guys excited for this? What are some things that you're worried about? Are you guys worried about the vocations and crafting, kind of like me? Maybe they're gonna make too many changes to certain things or classes that you're not maybe looking forward to. I think I saw something about the Warden, how they might be getting rid of Never Surrender or something. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this. What are you excited for? What might you be worried about? Or if you just don't care at all because you are in Lotro Classic Andy and that's all you care about. On that, I appreciate you guys coming by, stopping by. I hope you're excited for 2023 as much as I am, and I will see you all in the next one. Matty Ice, out. I love you all. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. Again, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what type of content you want to see in future videos. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, hit that bell button so that way you can get notified every single time one of my videos go live on the channel, so that way you never miss out on any of my content. Again, thank you, and I love you all.